Hey, my name is Attorney Walter Nunn. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. I want to go through something really quickly, which is something personal to me because sometimes I get really low. And I'm talking about, that depression that sets in. You get really, really low and you don't know what to do. You're not just, standing up. Now you're on the ground. Now you're not on the ground. You're in a hole. Now you're in a hole. And the ladder that was hooked to the top of the hole is now right at the top of your head. And now all of a sudden you're even lower than that. You're a few rungs where you can't even reach it. And you have to jump up and try to grab it. So let me talk to you about things that I use to go ahead and get through that, because I have to reboot all the time. I have to, people have talked to me like, how do you get through These are some of the techniques that I use. Number one, realize you aren't alone and that you have these, you have more of these, and this one will go away after a while. Yes, it does burn right now. Feels like dust in the eyes and chemicals in the lungs. Yes. But it always goes away. That's how you got to the position where you're at right now. Number two, realize this. The only people I know or knew who can't climb out of that hole are those who are facing imminent death. Are you facing imminent death? If you're not, keep that in mind. You can climb. You just need to know where to find, put on, and use your summit gear. 3. Know that your mistakes have been committed by millions of people in history before you. So you aren't special. Okay? And you aren't unique. You're just unhappy with yourself and you want things to be better. The proof that everyone has been you is why we have criminal law so well outlined. Right? Because there's so many people who have screwed up. That's why we have criminal law. We know exactly what to call it. 4. When you judge yourself, give yourself the F. You're an F up. Give the grade. Take that stain. Put it as a ribbon on your chest. 5. Realize you don't want this to happen again. Realize it's going to happen again, but next time you'll get better at making smarter choices. 6. There are people without the mental capacity to understand what they are doing or how it affects others. So before you feel like you don't have anything, realize you have much more mentally than those who don't even understand what sorrow is, love is, anger is, desire, or happiness. 7. So put it in words. You effed up this way. Define it. Okay? Make the statement, say it, simplify how you screwed up. I should have bought food and not drugs. I shouldn't have stolen to fix my other screw up. I betrayed my family for my own happiness. I blah, 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 blah. Those are the classic ones. I'm sorry I blew the money on this. I'm sorry I did that. Say it. Define it. In law, that's the issue statement. The issue is whether I have done, since I had done this, this is the result of it. Is this correct? The issue statement. Why did this happen? 8. Say the statement again. Now say, and I forgive you. Say it again and say, I forgive you, and I want you to win. Say that to yourself. Say it again and say, I forgive you, and you're my favorite idiot. 9. Wait 30 seconds. Answer, who did I hurt other than myself? Answer, why am I so embarrassed about that? Answer, why am I so tired of this shit happening? Answer, what do I want from myself in the future going forward? 10. Say out loud the following. My friend, we can fix this. It will take time, it will take skill, and we have both of those. Let's give our ego the actions that our reputation deserves. You are fixable. I am a success in many things, and all success people can always improve who they are. 11. If you were meant to be perfect, you wouldn't be human. you wouldn't have a name and a face. Because in perfection, you wouldn't be you. 12. You'll never get out of your deep spot if you can't forgive those who are thinking of how they harmed you. There's an energy that's shared by all humans. The older we get, the more we experience it. It's just the more time too goes by, the more we're in tune with it. You know, people say, oh, you know, your ears are burning, right? They're talking about you. There is an energy that is shared by all humans. You cannot outsmart it. Give it what it wants. Your happiness. 13. Happy people don't need much. Happiness is a smile, stretching toes and a chuckle. They are all free. Allow yourself to go ahead and be happy, make mistakes, say what they are, understand them, give yourself the F, forgive yourself, and forgive the other people who are on you about that mistake, and then move forward. I work with a lot of drug dealers. I work with a lot of people who have done bad things in their life. Sexual predators, sexual abusers, all kinds of things. Everybody, from the saints to the sinners, have to follow something like this to go ahead and move forward in a better positive direction. Holding people to one thing only keeps them in that one thing. And you know, when they think positive thoughts, there's a reason for that. And I'm going to teach you a secret. One of the secrets I always use. When I approach something that's difficult, I always tell myself, okay, we're going to do this thing one last time. Even though I know I'll have to do it 20 times over the next 20 years. I'm going to tell myself, I'm going to do this thing for the last time. This is the last time I have to do this. This is it. Get it done, I move on. A lot of famous football players, basketball players, a lot of famous writers, novelists, a lot of those people will say to themselves before they go out and do that magic, that they told themselves that this was it. They played this game and left nothing on the field. This was playing it like it was the last game, like it was the championship game, like they would never be at one of these games ever again. There's a trick to that. And that is because you give more when you know that you don't have to do it again. Because of the creativity of not having to go ahead and think, oh God, I'm going to have to work on this in the future. I don't want to put too much effort. I want to just relax and not have to worry about it. But the creativity of, I'm done. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Just do a little here, do a little here, do a little extra here. Boom. I'm out. It's that creativity of that little bit of extra spark. Better defined as, I think, like you jumped farther. You wrote something better. You caught something that you wouldn't normally be able to catch. It's your brain giving up on the boundaries that it traditionally sets for your mind and saying, okay, this is a prototype. Let's wing it. Let's see what happens. Let's do an Indiana Jones thing on this. And that's kind of what happens with this situation, is that you give yourself the reins to go ahead and get farther along with something because you know that you are not constrained in a normal way when trying to deal with it. And procrastinators are the ones who always put themselves in a tailspin that ends up down in a hole with the ladder that they can't reach, because it just builds and builds and builds and builds. Now, some people, like myself, there's no build time. It's just, heave on the hearings, heave on the briefs, you know what I mean? And then I have to just kind of plow through them as I can. I want to point out something else to you here, and I think this is important. I want to read to you something from my system, level 5. This is probably one of the most important things you could consider when dealing with an issue. So here it is. And it's in an issue, question format. Issue: I don't understand. Question: what am I missing? Issue: I give up. Question: what are some of the strategies and tools that I've learned that I could use? Issue: I made a mistake. Question: What did I learn from this mistake, and how can I use it to improve my future decisions? Issue: this is too hard. Question: am I willing to figure out how much time it will take, invest that time in my humanity, and win? Issue: it's good enough, Come on, I'm done. Question: I'm not dumb enough to spend my life making this my best work, but is this slop really me? Issue: I'll never be as smart as him or her. Question: how do I copy what they did, template it, rethink it, rework it, and ship? Ship means mail. Issue: I can't make this any better. Question: how do I improve something simple and small? Nothing big, but just this little thing. Issue: can't read. Question: how do you swallow a whale? By learning its language, trapping it, and gobbling it in piece by piece. The first letter is A. You eat the A. A is for apple. There you go. Issue: I'm not good at this. Question: if I was never good at anything when I was born, then how did I make it this far? And that's the big thing a lot of people lose focus on. People are good at making themselves kind of in the state of loneliness, right? They're able to make themselves feel like they're alone. Nobody's coming to save them. They need help, but they can't get help. And it's the help that is the thing that gets them to the next thing. It's hey, that's the thing. But most people don't realize is that, you have an advantage more than anybody ever has had in the past, because you now have smartphones. You can call people easily. There was a time where there weren't cell phones. There was a time when there weren't regular phones. There was a time when there was no internet. There was a time when there was no online application stuff. There was a time with that stuff. You're living in the best age to potentially achieve that you could ever be living in. And most functions of your day-to-day do not require somebody to fix the situation. Now, sure, you might have an impairment and it requires a nurse, or it requires this person or that person, or a case manager or whatever. But they're usually professionals who are assisting you. So if you're sitting there thinking, this person who's got to be able to come here and save me, well, they're not a professional, then there's a problem there. Because that person should not be the one that has to save you. If you truly can't work, then you're disabled and you get a check every month in insurance, right? If you're a person who just constantly gets super depressed, then there are forms of medication, there are forms of treatment and things like that to help you get, a little bit farther down the line of where you were before. So what I'm suggesting to you with this video is, and I know it wasn't perfect, I know I screwed up a few words when I was reading it, but what I'm suggesting to you with this, and maybe I should read it ahead of time, but there's so much to do. What I'm suggesting to you is to realize, A, you're not alone. B, you have technology to help you like never before. C, you don't need everybody that you think you do. D, when you get really, really low, start asking yourself what put you there, and forgive yourself and forgive those people who are thinking about you in a negative way. And then the final thing is this. There is no reason why you should not be able to find and use your climbing gear on a regular basis. You know that the down, the depression, the low is going to come back. So the key thing with it is know how to access your climbing gear. Know what it looks like, know what it sounds like, know what it feels like. And the more acquainted you become with your climbing gear, the more acquainted you will become with not needing it. That's the truth, My name is Attorney Walter Ifnalt III. I'll catch you a little bit later. Have a wonderful day, and we will go from there. Oh, remember, 8 to 10 every Thursday. I donate 2 hours. I go live on YouTube, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.